Hey everybody, welcome back to another adventure with me and T. As y'all know, Tom had surgery last month and he's still not really feeling up to getting around much, so we're running short on adventures. But I did want to go ahead and give you just a brief garden update. We have tried something kind of different this year. We always have the bean tunnel trellis. As you can see, it's pretty long. I think it's 5 cattle panels wide. Um, I think they're 40 inches. Um, so it's pretty long, and it goes up just about 7 feet tall, I guess, 7, 8 feet tall. And we have beans all the way to the top. Um, but what we're trying different this year is we have planted tomatoes on the inside of the tunnel. Those are my two helpers there. That's Bodie on the left and Kira on the right. They are garden supervisors, very strict. Don't want to mess around with them. Definitely not coming off of a 25-cent raise from either one of those guys. Trust me when I tell you. Um, but anyway, we planted tomatoes in here. And the reason we did that is our tomatoes, despite the fact that we might plant 1,000,000 tomatoes, we don't get very many tomatoes because the plants burn up so quickly. And okay, so we're being invaded by blue jays. um, they burn up so quickly in the summer here, and it goes from not quite so hot, we come off of those winter temperatures, to absolutely raging heat. And we just don't have the room to plant everything in the shade. So we thought, what, let's try something different. We're going to plant them inside the bean tunnel. As you can see, they're all in grow bags, so we can move them out if we need to. And I was a little worried at first, thinking, wow, it's not going to be enough sun. They're not going to do well. I just don't know what we're going to do. But I was picking beans yesterday, and what they've started doing, the tomatoes are reaching through. The tomatoes are reaching through the trellis, and they are budding out like crazy. I don't know if you can see that right there. They've come through the trellis. They're reaching out, getting sun, putting on flowers. The beans are making beans like crazy. No question about that. They are just going hog wild all the way to the top. I had to get Tom up yesterday to get up to the top to pick beans for me because I couldn't reach them. So he's out here standing on a chair picking beans. But anyway, you can see they're blooming. Well, I think you can see it all the way to the top. So yeah, we're picking beans every day, cooking them up, putting them away, putting them in freezer bags for the whole summer. We'll have beans. But we are happy to announce that we are expecting our very first tomatoes, and it's twins. Look at there. And those are Hausenators. Yeah, that's Hausenator tomato. And this whole row along down this side is Hausenators, and those are all covered in blooms. So we're pretty excited about that. And over on this side, these are the Mexico heirloom tomatoes. These are supposed to get like 1 pound tomatoes. They're supposed to be huge, so I'm fairly stoked about that. As you can see, we've got beans everywhere. There's beans all the way up to the top. And we just picked last night. So anyway, we're pretty excited about the tomato experiment. Let me put you on hold for a minute while the train goes through. Okay, that was fairly quick. The interesting thing about this side, the right side of the trellis, is with each tomato, we planted another bean. So what's happening is the beans are wrapping around the tomatoes and trellising them, like holding them to the trellis. So that's kind of what we wanted to do without having to clip everything up. Just get a little extra support for the beans inside the trellis. So that's working out pretty well. Okay, now along this north fence line here, we've got poinsettias, but we've also got the German pink tomatoes. Now those also get fairly large, about a 1 pound tomato, and they are putting out little blooms. So they're doing good. Over this way, this is kind of the west side of the garden. We've got squash, zucchini. We just planted another round. These are another round of yellow squash. We've got Peruvian sugar gourds. On this side, we've got cantaloupe and honeydew. And look at that. We got our first little baby melon. Very exciting. And then down here, these are more gentry squash. And then in this raised bed, we've got strawberries and onions. And there's our first little Peru sugar gourd. Looking forward to seeing how those come up. In this bed, we've also got strawberries and onions. These are the Tom onions, T-H-O-M, not T-O-M. And also the 1015s. But look at these strawberries. They're blooming and blooming. We got baby strawberries. These are the Haas Ruby June. These are plastic strawberries we put in here to keep the birds off, and it's worked just a real charm so far. I'm pretty excited about that. So those are doing real well. On the west fence line over here, we've got Cinderella pumpkins, and we've also got a row of tomatoes, of course, because who doesn't need a million tomatoes? And these are the Belgian giant tomatoes. This is my first time growing these. I'm anxious to see how they do. And all these little marigolds in between, these were volunteers. So we're happy to see those. In this bed, we've got some more volunteer marigolds. Yay. And some Texas 1015 onions. And a volunteer, actually 2 volunteer cantaloupes. And as you can see, the onions are bulbing up nicely. Be able to harvest some of those here before too long. Now this monstrosity here, this is a volunteer tomato, and we have put everything around it we can figure out how to help prop this thing up, because it was just spreading all across the ground. It is huge. It just showed up and it's just taken over like a whole chunk, but it's got little baby tomatoes. got blooms all over it. It's looking good. And down here we've got giant Atlantic pumpkins. This one's not looking too healthy, but it is producing a baby pumpkin. And we've got blackberries here. Those are budding, and they do have some fruit started on them. And in this wild and woolly mess, this is all sweet potatoes. We planted these last year. The freeze killed off everything. And then just recently they started coming back. In this bag we have St. Kitts Roselle. We planted 3 of those. We're going to try that this year. In this bed we've got some lovely marigolds and some collard greens. Along this trellis we've got our cucumbers. These are the Haussenator slicers. Little baby one there. We picked 2 big ones yesterday, and they are covered with blooms. We've seen a lot of pollinator activity. Oh, I see one down there. We'll have to pick that one later today. Maybe give it till tomorrow. We'll see about that. And here we've got some purple basil, and these are the Cherokee Carbon tomatoes. They're all covered with little blooms, so we're hoping for some good productivity there. On this side we've got the gentry squash, and we're picking squash just about every day. We started getting some powdery mildew. Oh, there's a squash there. And there's one in there. So we'll be eating squash. We're happy about that. We've always had really bad luck with squash, so we're happy to see these. On this side of the trellis we've got 2 volunteer Everglades tomatoes. Which is handy because they get huge, so it's a good thing they've planted themselves right by the trellis. That'll be good for helping to keep them somewhat under control. Last year they grew up over top of the trellis. Now this bed is kind of a catch-all. This is where we had all the spinach growing. We've got carrots over there. We've got onions down the middle. They're happy to see the light of day. Since I pulled all the spinach, it bolted, so we went ahead and pulled that. We've got volunteer marigold. These are some strawberries I planted from seed. Oh, look at that. We got babies. So cute. Tiny but mighty. They've got some blooms on them, so hopefully we get some more. Oh, here's another little teeny tiny one. I've also planted some leeks down in here. I don't really hold out much hope that they'll do anything. It's going to be too hot for them, but we'll give it a go, see what happens. Now, up here by the house we've got, these are the mortgage lifter tomatoes, and we just put them on a little makeshift trellis. We'll see how they do there. Not sure how well they're gonna do, but they've got some blooms on them. We're hoping for tomatoes. Yippee skippy. Down on this end of the house we've got our pepper plants put in. We've got some bullnose peppers, some banana peppers. Oh, let's see what we got here. This is the Haussenator Bell. These are the banana peppers. That's also Haas. Tom's looking forward to those. He loves banana peppers. And we pickle those and put them in the refrigerator. And over here we have some marigolds that started from seed. Those are ready to get planted out. And we've got some Haas Better Boy tomatoes. And these are looking pretty good. Coming up nicely. We've got some few little basil plants stuck in there with them, and also some marigolds. I've been wanting to pull that patch of weeds right there, but that little spider, I don't know if you can see him, right there, has made his home there, and I just hate to tear down his house. Okay, over here on the south side we've got some volunteer beans, because there's beans everywhere. Volunteer tomato or banana. We've got some banana pups that are coming up nicely, putting on new growth. We've got some parsley that's past its prime, some chamomile that's just about done, and some lemon balm. And we've got baby's breath and zinnia planted along the fence line. We've got baby peach, a little bit bigger baby peach. So over here on the south side of the house we've got blueberries and more blueberries and more blueberries and figs. We've got 2 brown turkey figs, and a Celeste, and a mulberry tree that died out during the winter but has made a pretty good comeback. And this is a Violet de Bordeaux fig, and our jasmine, which is just about done blooming but still smells wonderful. Well, y'all, that about wraps up our little garden tour. We appreciate you coming along, spending a little time with us. And we just want to thank you for coming on another adventure with me.
And tea.
Thanks for being with us in the garden today. We appreciate every single one of you. Y'all have a great weekend.